Pickles are some of my favorite foods. They are crunchy, salty, and really good for you. But have you ever thought about some of the science behind them? Like, why are they so acidic? Today, we'll answer some of those questions and more through calculating the pH. Pickle juice consists of roughly 50% water and 50% vinegar. The reason why pickle juice is acidic is because it contains a compound called acetic acid. An acid is any compound that donates a hydrogen. Our sample of pickle juice contains 0.787 moles of acetic acid. In order to find pH, first we need to complete a calculation called an icebox.
Acetic acid is a weak acid, so will not fully ionize. Our products will be H plus and CH3COO-.
The I in icebox stands for initial. In this line, you put the initial or starting amounts. C stands for change. This is where you add or subtract the moles that reacted. Finally, E stands for end, or what you will have when the reaction is complete. Since we started with 0.787 moles of acetic acid, we're going to put that here. Likewise, we have 0 moles of the hydrogen and 0 moles of the conjugate base. To show dissociation, we subtract X from the left, the reactants, and add X to the right, the products. Now we simplify this for our end line. Since our equation has a double-sided arrow, this means that it can reach equilibrium. This is the equation for our equilibrium constant. It has products on top and reactants on the bottom. You can think of this as a ratio between products and reactants. Acetic acid has a Ka of 1.8 times 10 to the negative fifth. We can plug in information from our icebox into the equilibrium expression. The products will be on top and the reactants on bottom. Now we solve for X. Since the dissociation was so small, we could ignore the X that went with the reactants. We find that X equals 3.8 times 10 to the negative third moles. This equals the amount of H plus that dissociated. Now we can find our pH. pH equals the negative log of H plus. Our pH is 2.42, which is rather acidic. Now that we've calculated pH, we know that pickle juice is sour because of the acetic acid and vinegar. Since pH is calculated using the number of H plus ions in solution, we know that a lower pH means that something is more acidic. For comparison, a lemon also has a pH of around 2. All of these calculations have made me hungry. I think it's time to finish with a well-earned snack.